Hello friends, welcome to Cloud Computing Interview Question Series from Knowledge Powerhouse. We will cover a lot of questions on cloud computing and the domain. So the first question is, what are the benefits of cloud computing? So if you have already worked in cloud computing or your organization is using cloud like AWS, Google Cloud, you must be knowing some of the benefits. But from an interview perspective, you should be able to give a detailed answer where you can tell the benefits that are really coming from the cloud computing. So there are 10 main benefits of cloud computing. There is a study that was done, and based on that study, these 10 benefits were discovered. And these are flexibility, disaster recovery, automatic software updates, low capital expenditure, collaboration, remote work, security, document control, competitive pricing, and environment friendly. So we'll go in detail of all these 10. You cannot just go to an interview and say that, oh, these are the 10, and like you just remember this answer and then tell it. You should be like first knowing about these 10 as a first part, and then when you go and answer, you can tell each of them in the detail. And because on each of those, further questions can be asked, or you can be asked a question like, how do you get the benefit of flexibility from cloud computing? How do you think cloud computing is environment friendly? So now I'm going into the detail of each of these points. So in flexibility, the businesses that have fluctuating bandwidth, like they have like sometimes the demand is high, sometimes the demand is low, so they need the flexibility of cloud computing. So if you have a high bandwidth, something like a big sale is coming like Black Friday, then you can scale up your cloud capacity. So from cloud you can easily get the very high capacity from the servers. And whenever you do not need high bandwidth or a large number of resources, then you can just scale down. So in cloud computing, there is no need to be tied into an inflexible fixed capacity infrastructure. So this is the biggest benefit that we get from cloud computing, because you do not know what will be your need tomorrow or 5 years from now. So you just go for cloud computing and start using the resources from cloud based on your need. Then comes disaster recovery. This is another big benefit of cloud computing. In cloud computing, we get robust backup and recovery solutions, and these solutions are hosted in cloud. So cloud is like not visible to us, like we do not know the inside implementations of the cloud. But the cloud provider, they assure us that we have a very robust backup, we have a good recovery solution, because they are like that is their core area of expertise. And due to this, we don't need to spend extra resources on homegrown disaster recovery solutions. And also it will save us time in setting up disaster recovery. So like if we are a like small company and we are going to grow big soon, but it should not happen that as soon as we grow big and we have a disaster and we lose everything. So then you do not know whether you should grow big or whether you should start putting resources on disaster recovery. Whereas if you're a small company, you pick up a cloud solution, then you know, oh, with cloud computing, I get the disaster recovery inbuilt. So that is the second benefit. Then we have automatic software updates. If you have been working in a medium to large scale company, you must be knowing that it's a big issue and like resource constraint kind of a thing where we have to spend resources on upgrading the softwares. Even on your own laptop, you have so many times asked to keep on upgrading the software. So in case of a big organization or a medium company, if you have to keep upgrading softwares on so many servers, it takes drain on your team. Whereas in cloud computing, you get automatic software updates. So this reduces the extra task of installing new software version and always catching up with the latest software installs. So this is another good benefit of cloud computing. Then comes the benefit of low capital expenditure. In cloud computing, the model is pay as you go. It means whatever you are using, you pay for that. It means there are very less upfront capital expenditure costs. So there is a variable payment that is based on the usage, like whatever server time, whatever database size, whatever bandwidth you're using, you have to pay for that. But initially, you don't have to make a big expense that first you bought a servers, then you bought a location for keeping the servers, then you bought staff for the servers. All those things are not needed. Then comes the benefit of collaboration. So in cloud computing, since the resources are always remote, the application can be shared between teams, and you can locate your teams in multiple locations and they can remotely connect and share it. So this will increase the collaboration and communication among team members because it's a shared resources. So this is another benefit. Then comes the remote work. So remote work, as I covered earlier also, that cloud is always a remote thing. It's not like on-site or on-premises thing. You don't have to go to a specific office to access the cloud. You can access from anywhere. So this provides you the flexibility of working remotely. So there is no on-site work. One can just connect from anywhere and start working. So this is another benefit that the organization gets. They don't need to tie up the teams to a specific office. They can ask the teams to work from any location. And then is the benefit of security. So security is a very big concern these days. And cloud computing solutions, these are considered to some extent more secure than regular on-site work. In on-site work or like on your data center in-house, you have to implement everything about the security. Whereas in cloud computing, there are already security experts who have provided some basic level of security and in some cases even the advanced level of security, which is much better than your on-site work. So the data stored in local servers and computers is prone to security attacks. So you have to like implement security. Whereas in cloud, there are very few loose ends. So cloud providers give a secure working environment to its users. So they constantly keep on working to keep the whole environment more secure. Then comes document control. Once the documents are stored in a common repository, it increases the visibility and transparency among companies and their clients. And since there is one shared copy, there are fewer chances of discrepancies. So if your company is dealing with different kinds of documents, or it is in a legal space, or like there are some terms of use, all those kind of documents you can store in a common repo which is in the cloud, and both the parties, client and the server, or like your company and your clients, they have confidence on the cloud, and then they can say that yeah, we are using this kind of a document control system. Competitive pricing. So initially, sometimes it appears the cloud may be expensive on per use basis, but over the time we have seen this trend that the prices in the clouds they keep reducing. Why? Because there are multiple players in the cloud and they keep competing among themselves, and whenever the cloud usage grows, the cloud provider is in a better access to buy resources at a cheaper price. And when they get the resources at cheaper price, they pass on the benefits to users. So that way it comes out that cloud computing is much competitive price than the other options. And the last benefit, environment friendly. In cloud computing, we really save the precious environmental resources. Why? Because in cloud computing, we are not blocking the resources. We are not just buying the servers and letting them stay idle. Because in normal organization, you are preparing for your high bandwidth kind of a scenario, and for that purpose, you buy higher capacity, and those higher capacity servers and storage they keep on running, and that block the resources. And in this way, the cloud computing, you just know that whatever you need will be available, so you are going for an environment friendly solution. So these are the benefits, 10 benefits of cloud computing. In your interview, as I mentioned, you can be asked these questions in a different format. Somebody can ask you, do you think cloud computing is environment friendly or not? So this way, you must be well prepared to answer those questions.